You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
James McFadden scores for Scotland. The afternoon belongs to Lewis Vaughan.
Make it 3. It's 3-0.
So Fraser, this week we're back with another hot or not for the SPFL. We're going to be looking at two teams that are in red hot form in the SPFL, two teams in not so hot form in the SPFL. I'm going to come in hotter for this episode. Something that's been getting on my nerves.
Go on.
You know, we like to start off with something that's been annoying us.
Yeah.
Is who schedules the rugby? You know. Now look, I know we've had this debate. I don't know if we've done it on camera or off camera before about this sort of thing between like football fans and rugby fans being very sort of like touchy. I think they're really touchy, aren't they, about not liking one or not liking the other. I'm not the biggest rugby fan. I enjoy the rugby. I watch Six Nations when it's on. You follow it closer than I do.
Yep.
But scheduled at 2:15 on a Saturday every week. Terrible.
That is, yeah, and it is very difficult because, listen, football comes first. I think that's fair to say.
Let's start with that, yeah.
But I'm going to put it out there. I love the rugby.
Yeah, I love watching the rugby
It's
as well.
Fantastic, yeah. And I know there'll be people watching going, "Oh, there's the old jokes about mugs, like pints of piss and all that, and brown brogues and jeans and etc." But the rugby's fantastic, and we saw at the weekend just how exciting it can be, and we thoroughly enjoyed the first 35 minutes.
We saw the first 35 minutes, yeah.
In a pub just down the road from Meadowbank.
One of the strangest pubs I've ever been in. So me and Fraser, the reason we've done Hot or Not this week as well is because we want to talk all things Edinburgh City Stranraer, the game we went to this weekend. But we did pop into a local sort of boozer before the game, but more sort of a jungle sort of, wasn't it?
Yes, it was quite something. It was how I imagined Dolly Parton used to dress.
Okay.
In the 90s was how
the interior of this pub was.
Pub was. And we went in and it was lovely. It was a nice pub, and no disrespect to the girl in the bar because couldn't have been nicer and she was lovely. But I sort of walked through because it was a pub. I thought we could just go and sit down, and then she was almost like, "Can I help you?" And then we were like, "Oh yeah, we're just looking for a table." So rather than seat us at the table where there was a group of people watching the rugby, she took us through to the back, which was the most peculiar. I don't know. I wish I'd get the name of this pub.
I think it was the Safari Lounge.
Was it? Well,
yeah,
fair enough.
Shout out if you're ever down London Road, heading towards Meadowbank. Hop into the Safari Lounge, and yeah, she said, "Don't worry, we've got a TV in the back." So, class. We'll go in and have a watch on the TV in the back, and I mean, this TV looked like it hadn't been touched for about 15 years, balanced on top of a bar in a room that there was no one else in but us. For the record, I thought there'd be some other people in there at the start. We did get joined by some people, but sort of big, huge, like life-sized. What was it? A cheetah or a tiger?
I think there was a tiger and there was an elephant, and then there was every sort of cushion and seat was tiger print. It was peculiar, but all that mattered was we had a pint and we had the rugby, so fantastic. But yeah, that was a funky. That's, as a Glaswegian, that's what you would expect from an Edinburgh pub, I think.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant. We watched the first 35 minutes, which were scintillating. Then we walked down the road to watch equally scintillating football.
We're going to get to that, Fraser, don't you worry. But yeah, a great day for Scotland, and Fife Derby coming up this weekend. Going to clash with the Six Nations, all the drama, so I'm going to have to do my best to follow my phone when I can. But a good day for Scotland as well. Women's national team as well.
Fantastic, yeah. Well, we were in Edinburgh, so we didn't get back in time for that. But it was easy streets for them.
Kind of expected, isn't it?
12 goals in their first two matches of World Cup qualifying. Bit of a sort of convoluted World Cup qualifying. It's like Nations League and World Cup qualifying all in one, and then all they need to do is just not finish bottom of this group to then progress to the playoffs. Bit odd, but anyway, looks like they've maybe assured themselves of qualification for the playoffs. But a double from Jenna Clark from corners. She is an absolute unit in the Scotland team, and Caroline Weir with 4.
That's not bad, 4 assists, yeah.
The first one, sublime. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It's one of those ones, it's like when you're playing in the number 10 role, that's her assist is exactly what you picture. That's what you dream about the night before your game. You're like, you want to take the ball in the half turn, sort of spin, and then play a lovely wee pass through for the striker to run on one touch finish. And it was just gorgeous. I love
Perfect
watching
football,
them.
yeah. So 2 big wins for Scotland against Luxembourg. Belgium coming up might be sort of the defining games of this group. But Fraser, I'm going to finish off quickly by asking Caroline Weir, first international hat-trick in one game, 4 assists in the next. What do you think is the better achievement there?
The hat-trick.
You think, 4 assists is quite rare, though.
No, it's cool.
That's quite rare. I feel you don't hear that too often. Jeremy Doku, I think, did it.
Did he?
Yeah, Paul Pogba did it once for Man United as well. That's all I can think of in Caroline Weir. So
Maybe for Caroline Weir in her position, like she's midfield maestro. So maybe to be fair, 4 is good, but
it's rare that.
when you consider the context, like it's her first international hat trick. She's not going to talk about her first international quad of assists.
This could be like a good squad question at Rafe one day or something like that. So it shows, are you a team player or not? Would you rather get 4 assists or score 3 goals? You know,
I think me personally, I would go. No, your first international hat
hat trick would be good.
If it was just for your club, or like if you'd done both before, I think 4 assists is maybe killer. But if you take into the consideration the kind of context of the 4 assists, I think 2 of them were corners for Jenna Clark's header, and then the final one was a corner where I think it was actually an own goal, or maybe I'm not sure, but it left a lot to be desired defensively from Luxembourg. So I don't think she'll look at that as fondly as the 3 goals she scored away in Luxembourg.
4 assists, so I'd take that for a season, let alone a game. So, right, should we move on to a game that did have plenty of goals then? Start us off then. The first Hot or Not then, we're going into League 2, and do you want to tell us who the teams you've selected for this are going to be?
Well, nice and easy. It's Edinburgh City and Stranraer, which we were discussing.
Which is completely, because we're at that game this weekend. Apologies to any fans of East Kilbride. They are scintillating hot form at the top of the league.
They are white hot form.
But did they beat Stranraer 4-1 this weekend? No. So we're going to start off with Edinburgh City. And Fraser, this is the first time I believe you've been to Meadowbank. What were your thoughts of your trip down?
Well, what a facility.
Yeah.
What a sporting facility, shall we say. Maybe not the greatest footballing facility, but in terms of a sporting, the track was fantastic.
Great track, yeah.
The stadium was nice. The stand was lovely. It was the most peculiar, surreal experience. As a sort of, if you take into context what we watched yesterday at Ibrox, if you consider that Edinburgh City and Stranraer fans were walking past each other, exchanging pleasantries actually.
For the most part.
There was only one.
We got heckled. We got heckled.
We did.
Stranraer fan. I wouldn't try and do the accent. Said you're going to have a lot to speak about on your podcast this week.
Yeah, that was
quite
laden with sarcasm.
And we quite awkwardly sat there like...
I know. We discussed
we
this.
We needed a better comeback. So
yeah.
if you see me in Fraser in public, don't expect a good, clever comeback. Yeah. Just expect
I hung my head in shame after that. But it was a lovely interaction.
It was lovely, yeah.
They weren't slagging us
off.
No,
not at all.
By any means. But you know when someone just catches you off guard, and then we like to think, we have a podcast. We should be able to have a quip back. Are we funny?
Something a bit funny to say.
What those get? The boys off the podcast are funny, eh? But instead we were stunned to silence because we weren't expecting to be recognised. But they were obviously making their way out because at that point I think it was maybe 3-1.
3-4-1 at that point. But what a brilliant game of football this was. And last week we spoke about excellent goals, and I'll speak to you a bit about Edinburgh City's play style. I think we got to see it at its best, which I don't think's always been the case, certainly in recent times. But the reason they come in as our hot team today is 5 games that went without scoring a goal coming into this one. Pretty turgid, but form for them as well. Only 1 home win all season as well. They won a game, which would have been the game to take them off the bottom of the table, but in typical fashion, Dumbarton had to go and beat Spartans 3-0 and one of shock results, of certainly the weekend, but didn't take Edinburgh City to get off the score sheet in this game. Innes Lawson, possibly the best goal I've seen live in person this season. What a hit that was, eh?
It was lovely, yeah. I mean, your commentary was like he kind of had to. Like it set up so nicely for him.
In live in time, I think I said to you, I was like, that's going to be a goal. The way the ball popped up to me, he had to hit it, and he couldn't have hit it any better.
It is one of those ones like, it was that difficult skill, and he did phenomenally well to execute it, but it was almost too perfect that if he hadn't had scored that, he would have been raging.
Yeah,
so it just bounced up beautifully.
Perfect opportunity.
Keeper was sort of caught off guard, flat-footed, and it was a lovely sort of, that one where you just sort of flick your
Had
your
his,
foot.
had his orange boots on as well, and it's Lawson. I thought he had a brilliant game.
He did.
He was playing at the top of this midfield that we were saying for Edinburgh City. We were hoping to see this formation go into the game. We've heard about it. It's good to see it live in the flesh again. It was the 4-1-3-2, and safe to say that was an attacking team. But Jason Jarvis, a man that certainly caught your eye, didn't he?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed watching him. He just looked so assured in front of the back four. Won the ball back technically good. He was spraying passes. That kind of the way you would picture yourself if you're playing a sort of CDM or that anchor role in midfield. And he was loving it.
A lot of ground to cover, but he really freed the guys up in front of him, didn't he? Malik Zaid, Dylan Williams as well scored the second goal. Had a good game. We couldn't quite tell who scored it.
Well, yeah. So that was from the free kick.
That was from the free kick.
And that was when I chimed in. If I'd been on co-commentary, I would have been getting clipped up across East Edinburgh City sort of forums. Because I turned to you and I said, because Big McQueen was at the back.
Yeah,
he was the most centre half looking centre half in Scotland. Yeah, possibly in the UK. I don't. How many did they have back? But I
think they kept the back four back. They didn't send defenders up for it. Yeah.
So they had an attacking free kick, maybe 40, 50 yards from goal. And then they hit their back four were back. McQueen, who was magnetic to the ball all afternoon, and I turned to you and I was like, "What a weird decision! Why is he not getting up? Like that just doesn't make sense." Next thing, ball gets whipped in. Was it Jason Jarvis? I
believe it was. Yeah.
Whipped the ball in back post, and Dylan Williams got on the end of it.
Yeah.
To the back of the net. So it was well worked, and maybe that's why I then sort of was contemplating why would they not. And maybe they're just not wanting to overcomplicate things.
It was one of them. It was a bit too far out to definitely have it as a set piece chance, but last minute decision to swing it in, and they made the right choice. Second half, then they followed that up by getting the third goal. They conceded just before half time. Stranraer maybe thought that was the ideal time to get on the score sheet. The score sheet, yeah, the goal sheet. But in the second half, it didn't take long for Divine. I didn't get his second name. Quite difficult one to say. Young lad on loan from Airdrie. And I did need to ask you, did you see Mr. Aaron Fraser's, I presume it was, apologies to anyone else at Edinburgh City if they posted it, to see his little tweet for it?
I didn't actually.
When he posted the goal video, divine intervention. Oh. Very Aaron Fraser. That reeks of it. Reeks of it.
Isar Heinrein.
Well, anyway, big man came on.
I was practicing saying this because they absolutely nailed it in Stranraer commentary.
Oh, did they?
In the package, and I thought, fantastic. But yeah, Divine, we did say when he came on, he looked a little bit sort of.
He looked raw. He was 18. I think he's 18 years old, but took his goal excellently. Great turn of pace. Jason Jarvis with the penalty then to seal it. But overall, just really impressed by Edinburgh City and those attacking players they've got. Just spraying the ball out wide and pinging it about the place. A few ropey moments. I think we made a few good saves and goal for City, didn't they? And Darren Lang missed a big header as well, and that would have narrowed it down earlier on in the game.
There was an opportunity actually in the first half. I think your pints had caught up with you, so you'd sprinted off to the toilet. But I think it was 1-0 at that point, and Stranraer had few opportunities in the first half, but they put the ball across, and Aaron Quigg was about 6 yards from goal, and it looked like a fantastic save in real time. But watching the highlights back, holy shit, that was a phenomenal. Mark Weir, honestly, round of applause.
He had a good game, very good game.
Oh, it just threw his hand up and saved that, which was a certain goal. And I think in commentary they were saying anywhere but there. And basically, I'd love to see what the XG on that shot was, because it would have been high. But phenomenal save. And then that was a big opportunity for Stranraer, which went begging for them. And then, as you say, you had a great performance, Mark Weir. Made a lot more saves sort of late, maybe in the last 10 minutes of the game. But by that point, the game was kind of dead and buried, really.
But City, looking up the way, I'm sure they'll be looking that way, thinking they'll be feeling good about themselves. Obviously, the 15-point deduction has been spoken about a lot. Dumbarton just in front of them. We were saying how tight that table would be if both those teams didn't have their deductions. No one would be safe at this moment in time. Annan almost getting reeled in a little bit. Only, no wins in their last 5 games. Blew a 3-0 lead against Stirling Albion on the weekend. 5 points in front of Dumbarton. 7 points in front of City. Looking towards the end of the season, do you think City will have enough balance to stay up then?
I think so, based on that.
Based on that, yeah.
Absolutely. Based on the season so far, potentially not, but they were obviously defensively a little bit porous at times, but they looked really strong at the weekend. If Mark Weir plays the way that he did, they'll be fine. But
You don't want to give away that many chances they do in games.
Yeah, but I think it's like Scotland against France when they sort of leaked quite a few tries towards the end of the game. They'd taken their foot off the gas. Edinburgh City potentially maybe taking their foot off the gas, and any goals that Stranraer had scored without the intervention of Mark Weir wouldn't have been particularly effective on the scoreline anyway. But yeah, I think they'll be fine based on that evidence. I must say I was a little bit disappointed with the game at the weekend.
How come?
We were treated to goals and we were treated to quality, but I thought it was going to be a humdinger. I thought it could be 2-2.
A bit more dilly dong.
I was expecting a bit more dong, and we just got a little bit too much dilly from Stranraer, really.
That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
So a little bit disappointed in the fact that we didn't get to see the best of Stranraer.
Yeah.
But I think that was only because of just how comfortable Edinburgh City were throughout the 90, really.
Yeah, and we did quickly see Stranraer, I think, of that first half. We're not tactical experts sitting on the side. This isn't Gary Neville sort of tactical analysis here. But I do believe that Stranraer started in a bit more of a 4-4-2 and quite quickly pushed their two wingers in to make it a bit more of a diamond to match up with Edinburgh City in that midfield, because they were really getting ran over in midfield. And we didn't see the best of Don Plank, who was taken off early in the second half. But disappointing for Stranraer. 1 win in the last 5 now, a team we've watched closely. We've put high expectations on them now, to be fair. But my goodness, Fraser. Moving on to our not team here being Stranraer. Partly not their fault, partly because the playoff race has just gotten so tight. We thought Stranraer might be able to open that gap up a little bit in fourth, but 33 points Stranraer. 32 Forfar, 32 you've got Starling, and 32 you've got Elgin. 1 point separating 4 teams. That is exciting.
And also on top of that, Annan Athletic are on 28 in the game in hand. So yeah, it's incredibly condensed down there. It's fantastic. It is. I've said it before. I think it's the best league in Scotland.
And say Dumbarton should be on 28 as well. City should be on 36. Given the points they would have gotten this season, it's so tight down there. Anyone could do anything. So, Stranraer, we weren't most impressed with them on the day. A few, a bit of lack of discipline at times, giving away the penalty late on. You know, moments like that was just a bit frustrating from their aspect. But a lot of talented players in their team. Do you think they'll have enough to hold on to that 4th place position? I
think so. They do. They've certainly got a lot of talented players. Joseph McGrath at the back had a difficult afternoon. He's 18 years of age, and showed his potential, but on a couple of occasions just struggled a little bit at the back.
Lewis Reed, who we mentioned, is one of my probably favourite young players I've seen in the SPFL this season. I hadn't seen him play a full 90 minutes yet this campaign. Saw him last year, I believe, against Starling Albion, but not his best afternoon as well on this occasion. I think he's still got a big career ahead of him, but we didn't get to see the best of him at the back either.
Yeah, I think you alluded to it. I think they were just tactically out fought by Michael McIndoe. I think at the start of the match, Edinburgh City had all the possession. They were spraying Jason Jarvis.
It's like they had an extra man at times in the game, wasn't it? There was always a free player on the other side of the pitch.
Malik Zaid was...
I think he lost the ball once,
sublime with the ball.
Take it off him in the phone box.
And Aaron Quigg and Matty Gillies were sort of chasing shadows at times. They did well, like 2 good players, but they were just overrun. Don Plank then had to come in a little bit. James Dolan as well, and it just they didn't really have much of an outball. When Don Plank did get the ball out on the left hand side, he was isolated. Normally had 2 Edinburgh City defenders doubling up on him. So it just didn't work for Stranraer. But we've seen enough of them previously this season. They were on a fantastic run of form. I don't know, since that Queen's Park Scottish Cup game and the decision, it's just the decision obviously for them to be dispelled from the Scottish Cup, maybe just put a little pin in their confidence, the feel good factor down at Stair Park. But I think they'll be fine. It's just the problem with this league is that every team has got the ability to kind of any other team forfeit in a good run of form. So yeah, it's difficult, but they've put themselves. I think I sort of tipped them to get relegated at the start of the season. So the fact that they're in amongst it at this point in the season is fantastic. But hopefully, this tough run of form doesn't last too long.
Well, this podcast should be going out on Tuesday night. Dumbarton Stranraer is going to be a good game again as well. See if Dumbarton can follow up and interesting, obviously, looking at that playoff race and the bottom of the table in that one. Then on the weekend, you've got Annan playing Edinburgh City as well, which could be a big chance for Edinburgh City to try and pull Annan back into that fight down there as well. Stranraer will be hosting East Kilbride on the weekend as well, so tough games keep coming quick and fast in this division, but it's really one to keep an eye on League Two.
Yeah, and Stranraer, let's not discount them, because I think earlier in this season they've had East Kilbride's number. So
They have done, yeah.
But East Kilbride, as we said, in white hot form. So I think that'll be another fantastic game. But hopefully, Stranraer can pick themselves up.
White hot form there, you said?
Oh, white hot. I think that's red hot form's hot, but white hot that's as hot as it gets.
Hot as it gets. Love that. Right, should we move on up to our next division? We're going to do. I say move on up. Doesn't get any better than League Two. I'm sorry, what am I saying? We're going to move back to one of our comfort zones, of course, of the Scottish Championship, and our hot team and our not team. The hot team. I think this is quite an easy one, given the team that no one expects to go on this run recently is Queen's Park, and the team that are going to be playing in back-to-back games pretty soon is going to be Ora United, who we settled on. There could have been quite a few teams we were sort of touching on for the not. But where do you want to start off? Where should I introduce us here?
I think we have to go to Hampden, shall we?
Go to Lesser Hampden, yeah.
Go to Lesser Hampden.
The city stadium.
Exactly.
Where Queen's Park find themselves in a position I don't think many people expected them at the start of the season, let alone in January when they lost 8-0 to Rangers and let go of their best player. They are 6th in the league. An absolutely fantastic run of form recently, I have to say, for Queen's Park. Picking up 3 really big wins, as well as a draw against St Johnstone, a loss against Dunfermline, peppered in the middle of that as well. But they've been in great form, Fraser, and gotten themselves up to a position where they're not having to look over their shoulder. I guess they're out in front of that pack. I was trying to say there, really.
Yeah, it's mad. The fact they're on 31 points, based on where they were maybe back in January, as you said, they lost Josh Fowler. It looked all doom and gloom to me personally. I thought they didn't have a hope in hell. It felt like to me that Ross County were moving in the right direction. It felt like Greenock Morton were going to sort of kick on with Ian Murray coming in. Felt like Ergionians were sort of really picking up a bit of form as well. But in those 3 wins in their last 5 matches, they've come against Ross County, Greenock Morton, and Ergie. Yeah, 3 of the teams above them,
and,
or now
around them, certainly around them. Yeah.
So they've rolled their sleeves up. They've scrapped. They've shown also that they'll keep clean sheets against Ross County and Ergie. They've shown that they'll score goals against Morton. Not many teams score goals against Morton. So yeah, they kind of doing it all at the moment. It's a bit ominous. I don't like the fact that Ayr United are going into sort of 2 back-to-back fixtures tonight. Shall we say tonight?
It'll be tonight when this comes out, yeah.
And Saturday as well. So if I was a Queen's Park fan, I'd be really quite optimistic, I think.
Certainly for the rest of the season, the way they're looking, you probably did think it was down and out as soon as they lost Josh Fowler. Is a lot of Queen's Park games that I think I've seen Rafe play them 4 times already this season with the cup game as well, and a lot of those games were right. Keep a solid shape here, get boys in and around the box defensively, and then pass to Josh Fowler and hope he does something. And you know what? It worked quite a lot, to be fair, and fair play, it did work. But now that he's gone, that I think we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, they've shared that responsibility out a bit more. And what they've done is, I don't know if it's using the Josh Fowler money, using the Scottish Cup money, whatever's happened, they've been able to bring in a bit more of a squad. We spoke about the signings of Scott Martin coming in, Nikolai Todorov coming in, Ricky Lamy coming in, Callum Smith coming in. All 4 of them, I don't think you get much more sort of seasoned championship experience if you tried. Scott Martin especially.
Experience as well.
Scott Martin especially, I think, when he's fit and in form, Thistle fans probably be thinking he's a player that could contribute when he is, firing at his best. And then Michael Roof also coming back from injury as well, 7 months out, it's right from the start of the season, coming in, getting the winning goal against Airdrie as well, coming in at sort of the deep end there and coming up big with a goal, and he's like a new signing in there for them as well. And what a fantastic turnaround it's been for them. Didn't see it coming.
It's been brilliant, and they're sort of breathing down Ayr United's necks. They've overtaken your club, Callum, and they've sort of made what I personally thought was a sort of 3-way relegation fight. They've kind of dragged
everyone into it, apart from the top 3 for top 4, yeah.
So it's now kind of looking at maybe Dunfermline are kind of pulling away, but it's at least a 6-way relegation battle for sure.
And it's what everyone keeps saying that you speak to, fans of Rafe Rovers, fans of other clubs that I've spoken to, say 2-3 wins in this league, you're looking away, and Queen's Park are the ones who actually gone and done that. They've put the words together there, and
I don't know what you think. what you think in the English Premier League. Obviously, it's that magic 40. I don't know what you think the sort of magic safety
I don't know.
total is
It's
going
going to be high this year, I think, because
Yeah.
I think usually any division you look at in the world, a point a game. So if it's a 38-game season, 38 points probably would keep you up in the Premier League almost every season. 36 this season might not even be enough in the
I think
Championship.
Looking at the table, I think 38 should do it.
38 should do it.
I think Airdrie are rooted to the bottom at the moment on 26 from 28 games. If you think they're going to pick up 12 points,
4 wins, yeah.
4 wins
It's
from
doable,
8,
but
it is doable. But the fact that everyone is going to be taking points off each other, it's going to be a lot of draws. Ayr United will probably draw their next 10 games, one each. So yeah, I would say probably 38 points will be enough for safety. Maybe 39, 40, and Queen's Park aren't far off it.
no, a couple more results and they could be at safety. And huge credit to Sean Crichton as well. Every time I've seen him speak, he just seems like a really cool character, and I think that's what you want in charge of your club, is just someone that's level-headed and speaks well. And I'm sure he seems like he's got a good relationship with his squad and his players as well as a young manager, and he's done a brilliant job. Long term for Queen's Park at the end of the season, I don't know what's going to happen, because all his money's coming out of the club as well, isn't it, at the end of this season, and they've had a while to sort of plan ahead for that, and I don't know if they want to just bounce around as a Championship club until they work it out, but it looks like they'll be around next season, which is probably quite important for them. So long-term future, not too sure, but Ayr United then, if you want to jump up higher in the league still.
Yeah, we're still just above Queen's Park.
There's certainly teams in worse spots than Ayr United are at this moment in time, but came in with quite high hopes, I think, this season, as you have done in recent years. Not going to say you weren't anywhere. I don't think you were probably in that debate with St Johnstone, even Ross County at the start of the season, but would have been wanting to maybe be where Arbroath is in the league, that sort of position after what was a stronger campaign last season, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I think if I look back to the start of the season, I didn't have too many expectations going into this. We'd lost a lot of key players. Jay Henderson's key.
Just in terms of numbers, what Jay Henderson got to last season for Ayr United, it's easy to forget.
Exactly, and he had an X factor, which Ayr United have lacked this season. The signings that we made didn't fill me with joy. I didn't think we were going to improve on where we finished last season. Last season we played brilliant football at times and really threatened to win the league up until maybe the final quarter of the season. It felt like we didn't take a step forward. It felt like, if anything, we maybe took a step backwards with our recruitment. So, and also with the teams that were in the league, it looked like it was going to. We expected Ross County, St Johnstone to be up there, and so never really expected to be challenging for the title, but certainly hoped that we would be making more of a push towards third place. And when you take into consideration the context that Arbroath, a part-time team, are comfortably in third and have had our number as well this season, it's a little bit disappointing. I think Ayr United off the park, we've spoken about this at length, are in a fantastic place, but just on the park, I think if we were in the position that we were in, like if you take Dunfermline for example, you've spoken at length about how their project is maybe a longer term project. They're blooding young players, they play an exciting brand of football. They've gone and they've beaten Hibs, they've beaten Aberdeen.
Thumped Aberdeen,
yeah, exactly.
Really did.
They've got an exciting brand of football. They might turn up and play horrific one week, but at least they show that their ceiling is high in others. With Ayr United, it's just, there's very few. We might be quite consistent, we might draw with everyone in the league, but there's been very few occasions this season where Ayr United fans have had real opportunities to sort of get out their seat, get excited about what they're seeing. There's been few catastrophes. The Inverness game, a home semi-final, first semi-final since 2007, 2008. That was you could argue that's a bit of a catastrophe to lose that game when it's such a big opportunity. But there's a sort of a staleness about Somerset Park at the moment, football-wise, that's just it's not exciting a lot of Ayr United fans. But they're in a fantastic position, or a good position, and a double header against Queen's Park. It's these matches that Ayr United now need to go on and pick up 3 points.
I think both teams go into that, look at it and say it's a chance to do something. Potentially 6 points. Both teams might look at that and think it's an opportunity for 6 points, 4 points perhaps,
Yeah, I think 3 points 3 points is the bare minimum. I think Ayr have to be looking at least a win. They can't be 2 draws is not really enough.
Yeah.
4 points would be what they'd. I think Ayr United have the squad that's probably worthy of beating Queen's Park and maybe getting 4 points over the 2 games. And then 6 points would be dreamland. But that's it. They've not really backed up wins with another win this season. So yeah, I would say Ayr United are quite mild at the moment. A lot to be desired on the pitch at the moment, but they're in a strong position. I think definitely.
In terms of that relegation
Yeah.
thing, I don't think you guys are going to get sucked into it at all, in my opinion. But I've got to say, it's got to be frustrating though watching Ayr this season at times and lacking a bit of inspiration, perhaps. Thing difficult to beat, sure. Lacking ideas, creativity, goals a little bit, and then you see Dom Thomas go to Airdrie and immediately score a belter of a goal on his right foot, and then another goal that Dom Thomas is one of the very few guys in the championships that are scoring. I mean, both those goals. So
yeah, that's just where for me, and I totally understand where Scott Brown's principles in football lie, and he will look to be defensively solid first before creativity. But when the team sorely lacks that creative spark, when you've got someone, the excitement I had when I saw that Dom Thomas was signing for Ayr United, was I thought this is replace Jay Henderson. He's done it at this level. There's no way this can fail, and it just never. It felt like he almost didn't really ever have the opportunity to fail, really. So really disappointing. And they've just Ayr United, as you say, he came on. He scored 2. He scored twice for Airdrie in that important game, and Ayr United just haven't really had someone that's done that this season. So yeah, it's disappointing. They've got the players. They do. Ethan Walker's coming back from injury. Marco Roos has the ability. Jamie Murphy, I think he's sort of struggled with injury recently, but these players can do it. But it's just not quite happened.
But I do. At the end of the day, I think there's been quite a bit of negativity around Somerset Park with the fan base. I feel like I'm same with Rafe at times as well. You sort of see on your social medias, we've got 2 quite moany fan bases at times. I'm sure we've probably been moaning ourselves off camera at times too. Never. But I could certainly see Ayr United even just drawing their way to safety. Probably do it. Yeah. 5 draws, and I don't think you're ever going to be in that trouble. But obviously a bit disappointing given the season you had last year. But a chance in the summer to reset the batteries maybe a little bit and change things up. But is there anything you want to add to that? Or
well, just as you mentioned, they're sort of draw our way to safety. We've only lost 6 games this season.
6, wow,
which is crazy. Almost one in 5 games, which for a team in 5th position and sort of threatening to be dragged into a relegation battle, to have only lost 6 games should be commended as well. So we'll give Scott Brown credit where it's due, but it's just too many draws and not enough wins. So
one of them at home to Rafe Rovers as well has got a sting.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that was not a nice one. But Dylan Easton scoring a world, you can't argue with that too much.
You can't argue that,
yeah. So it's definitely not all doom and gloom, but just time for Ayr United fans. I think are getting a little bit nervous going into the final run-in, but there's plenty of time.
Love that. Right, we're not gonna take any cards today, Fraser. We're gonna jump straight into challenges. You ready for it?
Absolutely.
You're good to go. So,
incredibly so.
Challenge time starts off, and we're going to be going back to a challenge that we've done before. Fraser, recently we spoke about players that could potentially be wild card sort of picks for the Scotland national team, and if they should make the World Cup squad. And since then, there's been even more debate about more and more players that should potentially be on the plane going off to the USA with me and hopefully you. You've not booked your flight yet, but they'll be joining us out there. Even if they just want to get in good form so they can be in the squad, they also just get a free holiday and free tickets to all the games, even if you're going to sit on the bench.
The Conor Barron role or the Ross McCrory.
Just enjoy it, take it in.
Fantastic.
So Fraser, I'm going to say a player and we're going to decide if they should be on the plane to the USA this summer.
Lovely.
Right, the first player up, Barney Stewart. Now, Barney Stewart is a man that came into red hot form and he started up this debate. James McFadden came out and said he's got the potential to be a Scotland striker one day in the future. Possibly a bit too early for him so far, but what form this guy's in right now?
Exactly. Everything he touches turns to gold. For me, no, not quite there yet. But if the World Cup was maybe in 2027, then potentially I would be more than happy. I would also, we've got injuries to key players in attack at the moment on Shanklin, for example. So if Steve Clarke wants to call him up for the friendlies at the end of March, I'm all for it. But I don't think he's going to get a seat in the plane to the US, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm bored of the narrative of, what a dream story it's been. He's got there because he's worked hard. I think the best thing he's done this season actually win over the Dunfermline fans. Probably the most impressive thing he did when he was there. Now he gets to play them in a cup semi-final as well. This is going to be a good narrative.
He's not cup tied, is he?
No, he's not cup tied. I don't believe. Oh, he better not be. So I'd be gutted if he
I've not read it. I've not heard anything about that.
No, he's not. He started away to Hearts away at Hearts.
Yeah,
I remember watching that game. So Barney Stewart in the semi-final, bag a hat trick. I love Callum Morrison
against Dundee United. Of course,
Callum Morrison on the other side of it as well would be good. So Barney Stewart, I think maybe he could be like a long-term success to the Lyndon Dykes sort of role. Not just yet, but he's certainly got that raw ability to go on and do it, I think.
Yeah, and he knows his way to goal. Physical guy as well, and a lovely bloke too.
Seems like a good lad.
Works in our squad.
Up next, Mark Leonard. This is another one that's opened up the debate recently.
Any other position in the squad, yes. But he's a midfielder, and that, I think, seals his fate. And I don't think he'll quite have enough to get to North America unless there's an injury to any of the sort of the regulars, shall we say.
Another one might be good to flash him in these friendlies coming up. There's so much competition in the middle of the park. You're even looking at Lennon Miller being on the periphery of the squad at this moment in time. So
yeah,
maybe Mark Lennon might be a step too far.
I think Lennon Miller's got the edge. If it comes down to both quite similar players, if it comes down to one or the other, I think Lennon Miller edges it. But Mark Leonard's a really classy operator, done brilliant things at Tynecastle since he made the move up north. And I wouldn't be against it. I just think he doesn't have the quality of the other options.
We can keep kicking on. Up next, Calvin Miller.
Yes.
This is a big shout, this one here.
Yes. I'm nailing this. I think regardless of the fitness of everyone else, I think he is the X factor. I think he is what Steve Clarke needs to add in. Just that sprinkling of stardust. He might not start, and I totally respect that, but he's got pace. He's played defensively as well, so he's quite versatile. And he knows his way to goal. I think he's exactly what we lack in our
This
squad.
guy was playing League One football 2 seasons ago.
That's all right. That's all right. It doesn't matter. Andy Robertson, he made the step up from Queen's Park to Dundee United to the Scotland team in a short space of time. Calvin Miller can do it. He's got quality. He's got pace, and I think that's something that we don't have in abundance.
It's a yes for me as well, because I think he's brilliant at getting the ball and just driving with it. Being slightly fearless is maybe something that we lack a little bit in that Scotland squad. When you want to hit the handbrake off and have guys try to do something a bit different, he might be that guy just to do that. And the form he's in, he's added numbers to his game this year at a Premiership level for the first time. And yeah, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I think
mind it.
A little bit of arrogance Callum he's got, and that's what we need.
That's what we need, yeah. That's what we're missing. Up next, Stephen Welsh.
I would say yes. I would be yes to this. I really like what he's doing. I think if we take in the context of Steve Clarke and Scotland and the way that we play, he might not make it.
It doesn't make too much sense for Steve Clarke's play style, and you're looking at maybe having 3 centre-backs locked in already. That 4th spot, if that's going to be Jack Hendry, Craig Halkett, Stephen Welsh, then I don't think he's quite getting the tip. I think Craig Halkett's just above him in the pecking order.
He is. I would probably agree with you there, but I would not be disappointed if he was picked. I think he's been part of the meanest defence in Scotland by far. He's good. He's shown that he can play with the ball at his feet. He's shown that he knows his way to goal as well, and I think he would fit in well to this Scotland squad. But whether or not he's just got the edge on a player like Craig Halkett, I'm not sure.
But he's not even had to defend this season. Just don't give the ball away, so it doesn't matter. But up next, Ollie McBurney.
No.
Nah, that's a no for me as well, yeah.
No. It seems a little bit crazy. We're maybe saying no for the wrong reasons. 13 goals, 6 assists this season in the Championship, I think, which is kind of crazy. For a Scotland level striker, that's fantastic. But we've seen him in a Scotland strip before. He's not paid it the greatest of respect, maybe on some occasions.
He's been in the Scotland strip when he's wanted to be in a Scotland strip at times as well. So
yeah,
but you're looking at, we know what Lyndon Dykes, Che Adams, we think they add so much to the squad. Lawrence Shanklin's the 3rd man. You probably do have space for a 4th choice wild card. I think we might give the tip to Kieran Bowie personally on that one.
I would.
Yeah.
I would give it to Kieran Bowie over Ollie McBurney, but if you look at the last few months, Ollie McBurney,
Just getting the numbers.
he's getting the numbers. He's, maybe a bit older now, a bit more mature, a bit more experienced. So might have the confidence, the edge over Kieran Bowie. But yeah, it's just I like the physical profile that Kieran Bowie has, as well as the technical profile. And he scored his first goal for Hellas Verona, so hopefully he'll kick on and he'll blow Ollie McBurney out the water. It wouldn't even be a debate.
Works me good, Kirkcaldy man. Right, Fraser, that's all our Scotland players for that one here. Up next, we're going to bring back another one we've done in recent weeks. I'm thinking of a player, and you have 15 questions to work out who it is. Player's locked in.
Nice. Good to go?
Good to go. I'm thinking of an SPFL player. You've got 15 questions to answer who it is. Make sure I get that in there this time. Right, go.
Does this player play with their hands or their feet?
Oh, I was like, pissed. They play with their feet. They're not a goalkeeper.
That was a really bad question to start, but just thought maybe
it could have been a goalie. Yeah,
could have been a keeper.
That's one.
Is this player in the top 2 tiers of Scottish football?
This player is. That's 2 questions.
In the top 2 tiers, okay. Has this player played for his national team?
Let me double check.
Interesting. This reaction's also given
I know it does,
some
but
hints.
I should
No,
know.
that's
this.
okay. There's nothing against that.
Yeah, this player has. Yeah, is that 4? 3? 3 questions.
That's 3.
Yeah, I was pretty certain there. I don't want to get that wrong.
Is this player known for attacking reasons?
Yes, 4.
Right, okay. Top 2 divisions, played for his national team. Right, let's just narrow it down by 50%. Is this a Premiership player?
This is a Premiership player. 5.
Okay. That was going to be my.
I'm
first
hoping you get
question,
this in. You get this in 10. You've done well. You've done better.
attacking.
I want you to get this in 10.
Is this player currently in the top 6?
Yes.
Okay.
That's 6 questions.
So Falkirk, Hibs, Motherwell. Oh. No, I think you would have known that actually. I need to think of a player that you wouldn't.
Knowing what?
I was going to say Elijah Just, but you know that he's played for New Zealand.
Maybe.
Is this player a midfielder?
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. That's not helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say a midfielder, sure.
That's not helpful at all. Okay. How many have I had?
7.
Oh, you've put me under pressure now to do it in 10. But I've actually got loads. But
Well,
is this
keep going.
player European?
No.
Now we're talking.
8.
Now we're talking. Surely it's not Elijah Just.
You only asked 8 questions.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think. Known for attacking, would say he's a midfielder, not European. So we're thinking Hatate, Maida, Just, Side, maybe. Don't think there's any non-European Falkirk attackers. Non-European Hibs. Who could that be? Martin Boyle, maybe. No, you wouldn't. You looked that up, so it's not Martin Boyle. Rangers. Have they? I don't think they've got any non-European. Right, so we'll just have to narrow it down. Is this player currently in the top 3 of the Premiership?
No.
Oh, okay. It's got to be Elijah Just.
Is that your next question, or?
Is this player Elijah Just?
It is Elijah Just. You could have got it in 6, man. I was hoping you'd overthink it. You'd be
I did
looking
that.
at Spartans players for a bit too long or something. But yeah, you got him. Elijah Just. Well done. You got that in 10. Well done. That was good.
Thank you. I was under pressure there.
I thought I did have a thing for a second. I was like, I kind of know he's an international,
No,
but I was trying to it was a bit tactical as well. I thought I'd have a little look just to see
Yeah.
you'd maybe overthink it again. But
Well, because I was thinking, has he played for? Of course he has, but
yeah,
like
38 times actually as well. I wanted to have the number as well, so I could say it. But
what a player! I know I've spot, but wow, what a player!
right,
What a
Fraser,
player.
we've got one more challenge to come up. This one's going to be quick fire again as well. But we're going to be having a look at free agents coming up. Of course, we're into that time of year. Pre-contract agreements going around. McPake, he's signed up to Hearts already. Other players, I'm sure they've agreed some moves. We don't know about them yet. Unless you have some inside information. I might.
I hear that Nicky Hogarth might be signing a
New contract, yeah. Nicky Hogarth was initially on this list. 1 hour ago, signed a contract to Falkirk.
That's crazy.
Which wasn't going to be my recommendation for him. But he's done it. But maybe he'll be number one next season.
What was your recommendation going to be then?
Somewhere he can play football, like
Right.
Ayr United or Dunfermline, a higher championship team that need. There's a lot of them that need a goalkeeper,
Yeah.
and he's a great goalkeeper, so it'd be good to see him play football again. But we're going to go into Fraser. I'm going to name an SPFL free agent, and we're going to say where we think they should go come the summer.
Quality.
So up first, this guy's not in the SPFL, but he might be. Is Sir Andy Robertson?
Sir Andy Robertson. I think there's one answer to this question.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's Celtic.
Do you think it would make sense for him at this stage of his career? Still got a lot to offer at the top level.
Yeah, of course I do. I think
Kieran Tierney playing at the same club. Not a problem.
not a problem at all. I think the two of them will rotate nicely. Kieran Tierney will play left back. Andy Robertson will come in. Kieran Tierney will move in. They can play 3-5-2 if they need to. Get Nancy back in for a few games. Perfect.
Up next, then, I'm going to say David Watson. Call me crazy. I'm going to say Heart of Midlothian.
I agree, Callum.
Oh, there you go.
I agree. I think he's come out and said he's looking for Champions League football, which normally would imply Celtic or Rangers. I don't think he's really cut out for Celtic or Rangers. And Hearts are going to be playing Champions League football, so Heart Midlothian.
Needs to go somewhere he's going to play. Wouldn't want to end up like a Lyle Cameron, but European football, a manager he knows, and Derek McInnes as well. This one makes a lot of sense.
I think so, yeah.
All right, our next player up then, it's going to be Liam Kelly, the Rangers goalkeeper. Remember him?
I do, occasionally, yeah. Could be at the World Cup
Could be, yeah.
this summer, but barely caught a ball this season. Difficult one. I think, can we just do sort of general lower Scottish Premiership?
The Scott Bain situation. Be good to go see him play football again and show what he can do to everyone, because we know he's a top Premiership goalkeeper when he's playing.
He is, yeah. Maybe Kilmarnock, but
If they're in the league, yeah.
if they're, which I think they will be at this stage, but they've now got a settled goalkeeper. There's no team that really needs a goalkeeper so much at the moment.
I don't think Aberdeen would take them too kindly. They need a goalie, but maybe not.
Yeah. So it's difficult. I think if there was a team that became available for him in a lower end Scottish Premiership team, then he should go there, but there isn't. So,
But it's a cushy wee job, isn't it, at Rangers?
phenomenal.
He's not quite Kieran Wright, getting kept on for life to get put in European squads, but it's all right for him. Up next, then, Cammy Devlin. One of the best players in the league this season, if you ask me.
Well, I know you're a massive fan. I'm also a fan. Not quite as big as you, but a big fan. I think he has to stay at Hearts, surely.
Yeah, he's made a real legacy there, hasn't he? And Shanklin's been out. He's had the armband on at times, stepped up his game this year. And if he's not a hero there already, if they win the league this year, we know he was going to go down as an all-time Hearts player and keep building that legacy. Eh?
Exactly. If he's not staying in Scotland, if he wants a new chapter elsewhere, I feel like he's got Birmingham City written all over him. Do you not agree?
Mark Lennon, stiff competition if he did.
That's true, but I just feel like maybe that would be the sort of
A championship.
that would be the swap deal.
Championship.
Birmingham will say you can have Mark Lennon, we'll take Cammy Devlin.
For free. I
Yeah.
don't need to pay for him. But and our final one's going to be one more midfielder. Our final player is going to be Bailey Rice. Remember him?
I do, yeah.
And I'm going to say Bailey Rice back to Motherwell.
Interesting, yeah. I sort of thought maybe Kilmarnock, going with his pal Finlay Curtis, play under Neil McCann, a team that are maybe trending upwards potentially. But yeah, Motherwell makes a lot of sense.
Team where he came through at initially, left the opposite of Lennon Miller, went to Rangers that age. We saw a bit of some flashes of him. Good performance at Old Trafford, but I feel that was quite a while ago now. We've not seen much from this season as well, injured at times, but on the side of things, and I think he needs to go somewhere where, for me, he's got to go somewhere where he plays football.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Finlay Curtis shown that minutes is key, and Bailey Rice has got the ability. He needs to get out there and play some football. And under Jens Bertel, I'll ask you, hopefully Jens Bertolascu next season, that would be a fantastic place to play.
And if Vasco is around, we don't know what Motherwell's going to look like next season as well, but there might be a few opportunities for some young players to come in if they've got a bit of money to spend as well. And get someone in like Baylor Rice, European football potentially, coming to Motherwell as well. So that could be a good opportunity for Baylor Rice to really cut and show what you can do, because I think the Scottish Premiership is a great place for players to show what they can do, because it's quite quick to really make a profile. Look at Mark Leonard instantly getting, recognised for the Scotland squad to give yourself a profile, and I'd love to see Baylor Rice do that rather than go down south somewhere. Sort of the Bobby Wales move, and not actually see much of him playing in a first team environment, because I think he's good enough.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's so much better when you've got Scottish players at the core of these Scottish teams that are doing well. It's brilliant. It's good for the national team, and it's much better, as you say, than going down and rotting on the bench at Swansea City or Barnsley or Blackburn Rovers.
Rotting on a bench might be a bit harsh, but I agree. Let the guys play. Let the guys play. That's what I say to it. So Fraser, back-to-back games for United this week against Queen's Park to finish off. How many points are you picking up?
4.
4 points. You confident on that?
I'm confident in that. Draw away from home, and then surely a wee 2-1 win at home.
We'll wait and see. We'll be back next week to see what happens. So looking forward to it. Fraser, prediction for the Six Nations as well. Who's winning it all?
Scotland. They're not. France are, but I think Scotland will
win in Ireland.
I think they'll win in Ireland. I think they'll fall short though.
Is how you getting your England flag out?
That's well, that's it.
You need
I can't decide. I want England to win the wooden spoon, or obviously I want Scotland. So Scotland to win the Six Nations. And for you, 5 Derby prediction? You putting your neck on the chopping block here?
1-0 Rafe Rovers.
Good. That's it. I'm glad.
They said the confidence in everyone's voice there.
Who's scoring?
It's going to be a tough game, but
Jordan Doherty.
Big Innes Cameron.
Innes Cameron.
Get us first goal.
Love it. It's going to be a scrappy one.
That'll be a beautiful header. 40 yards.
Robin
maybe not
Van
40
Persie,
yards.
2014 World Cup header.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, love it.
So
that's better. Stuff the rugby, man. That would be better than Scotland winning the Six Nations.
Fingers crossed for it, but we'll be back next week, of course, Joga Bonito to cover it all.
We will, yeah.
So looking forward to it. Fraser, it's been a pleasure as always.
Always is, yeah.
Final words?
Joga Bonito is.
Finito. As always, right? Brilliant.